Using cruise control inside of the Mercedes E450 is a very straightforward process. You're going to be utilizing the buttons along the left-hand side of the steering wheel. So you can toggle the system on by pushing the button right there. Once it's toggled on, you get a little message inside of the cluster screen letting you know that cruise control is actively enabled. From there, you could then either push down here or up there in order to set your speed. And then you can increase or decrease 1 kilometer or 1 mile per hour at a time by sliding your finger up or down. If you push up or if you push down, that's going to increase you to the nearest 5 or 0 miles per hour or the nearest 0 kilometers an hour. So let's say if you initially set it at 37, push up, it'll bring you to 40 kilometers an hour, 50, 60, etc. Push and hold down, it'll do the opposite, and then obviously it'll be a 5 increment in the US. You can hit the brake to cancel your speed, you can hit the cancel button to cancel your speed, and then you can push resume in order to resume your previously set speed. One thing to point out is that it's strictly going to be adaptive cruise control inside of the ride, so you don't have the option for the traditional cruise. But you can overwrite these things at any point in time as you drive, which I'll show you as we start to go. But there's one other button, and that's this little guy, and that is a gap adjustment. So distance indicator, it's how close or far are you away from the vehicle that's in front of you. And as you can see there are 4 unique levels that are available. So what I'd recommend is that you'd want to be on level 1, ideally on residential streets. If you're in stop and go traffic on the highway, that'll probably be okay, but you might want to be on level 2 or 3. It depends on your own personal comfort level. I've just personally found 1 on residential streets works great, and then 2, maybe 3 highways or interstates works for me. You might want to be on level 4 if you've got the cruise control system going and you're, let's say, in snowy or slippery conditions. But let's go ahead and I'll show you how this process works. Now, one other thing I'll point out is that there is the option for a lane change assist that strictly works on highways or interstates, and there is a little steering wheel there that would go green with arrows next to it letting you know that that lane change assist is active. So what that would mean is that you hit the turn stalk to go left or to go right, and it's going to look beside you, and then it'll automatically change lanes for you. It's pretty neat. And that auto lane change feature, the way that that one works is that if you're on a highway and the traffic in front of you is going a little bit too slow, it'll automatically change lanes for you without you having to do anything. So it'll automatically hit the turn signal to go left or right, and it'll change lanes. If it's changing lanes for you automatically, you can push the OK button in the middle there to cancel, or with it going, you could then just tap your blinker in order for it to pause instead. So you've got different options there. But while we're waiting for traffic to clear, if you want walkthroughs on the steering wheel buttons, the cluster, or the infotainment, you'll find full walkthroughs down in the description of this video. All right, so as of right now, I've got the system turned on, but it's not actively engaged. So if I hit set now, it's engaged. I can swipe my finger up to increase 1 kilometer, 1 mile per hour at a time, push up instead, and that's going to bring me to the nearest 0. So I drop up or down, and then from there we're cruising. Now, I'm at a green light right now, but if the light was red, if there were no cars in front of you, your car would not stop. So you just have to make sure that you brake yourself. You can cancel your speed this way if you'd like to. You can hit resume to resume your previously set speed, and you're set to go. Now, as of right now, it's not recognizing the lane markings. If it is, that one on the right-hand side would go green, but we're cruising now. At any point in time, you can take over. So you can hit the brake if you'd like to. If you've got the resume function going and it's not speeding up fast enough, you can manually take over and hit the accelerator pedal. You'll notice when you're accelerating yourself that the speed there may go gray. And what that means is that you're essentially overriding or you're suspending the process. But cars in front of me here are slow, and it's slowing me down nicely. So if it's not slowing you down fast enough, you can hit the brake. But I mean, that is straightforward. Look at that. Nice and simple. So like I said, there's no traditional cruise control. It's strictly going to be the adaptive. You can do everything on the fly here. So adjust your gap, I should say. So how close are you from the vehicle that's in front of you with 4 unique levels. Toggle the system on or off completely. Slide up or down to increase, decrease 1 kilometer, mile per hour at a time. Push up or down to jump up to the nearest 0 kilometers or the nearest 5 or 0 miles. We're coming down to a complete stop here, which means that at a minimum, it's going to hold you for a stop for 3 seconds. There is an advanced package which would hold you for a stop for up to 30 seconds before it would auto resume. So that is available, not standard, and you're going to get that longer hold specifically on highways or interstates. So if it's stop and go traffic on the highway, just go in knowing that the vehicle does have you covered from that perspective. But if you want full walkthroughs, like I said, on the steering wheel buttons, the cluster, or the infotainment, you'll find that down in the description of the video. But that's how you use adaptive cruise control inside of the Mercedes E450.